What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So, I've been trying to get myself some more essence here, right? So we set up this wither-proof reinforced obsidian previously. We were spawning in the wither boss using this guy down here, our wither builder. Let's go ahead and do this. And as building the wither boss, and we got ourselves a wither that is now forming in there. Now, when the wither explodes and it's vulnerable, our mob masher, mob grinder, whatever that thing's called right there, would kill it. This was previously to the newest update. It does not kill it anymore. This thing has power, it's doing stuff or trying to do stuff, always active, right? It's got power. Yeah, it just doesn't work anymore. That's unfortunate. So we don't really have a way to automatically kill the wither boss at this point in time. Now, the reason why I want to kill the wither boss, you know what, let's turn the sound down just a little bit. Let's just do, is it this one? Maybe it's that one. The reason why I want to kill the wither boss is so we can get some more of our essence. Yeah, we've been making a lot of the mystical agriculture seeds and stuff, which requires a lot of essence to do that. And I remember that we were getting quite a bit of essence from our wither boss friend here previously. So we can uncraft that, the red stuff down to the blue stuff and get the orange stuff and the green and so on and so forth and get a whole lot of like the lesser versions. But now it doesn't seem like we're getting a whole lot of these drops anymore. We got 2 supremium essence. I remember getting a lot more of that previously. And it was also a lot easier since we could just spawn in a whole bunch of withers and just have them kill automatically. You know, do like 10 or 20 of them, go in there, get your stuff, and yeah, it's... Or I guess the stuff would be collected right here and be nice and safe inside this machine, but can't really do that anymore. It's kind of unfortunate. Now, this mod pack does have Draconic Evolution, which does have a mob grinder that will kill the wither boss, but we're not quite there yet. So no more automatic mob crusher killing our wither boss for this essence. So I've been making some seeds here. And I filled up this very last row of our garden cloches. Yeah, we have seeds in all of these, and each one of these seeds are a tier 4 inferium seed. We're growing more essence. So I want to grow more essence so we have a lot and don't have to rely on our wither boss thing over there, which is all manual now, unfortunately. Yeah, so I set up a drawer over here, which is collecting the essence. We now have almost 2,000 essence in there. I do have a bunch of upgrades so we can collect a whole lot. But after I did this, I was thinking, you know, back when we were doing Project Ozone Light, it was brought up that it's a much better idea to have like RF tools crafters take that essence, craft it all the way up to like Supremium, the red stuff here, right? And just collect this in the system because it's a lot less crafts to uncraft this than it is to take like the smallest stuff and craft all the way up to this one every single time when we needed that. It takes a lot of patterns in this, and it takes a lot of CPU time and a lot of work for you to do like that crafting. Whereas if we just had the RF Tools crafter doing it automatically and we were only collecting this stuff, it's like way faster. So I kind of wanted to look at doing that today. Or at least to start off with. So I want to make the tier 3 crafter. I don't know if we need the tier 3, but I know each different tier has more recipes, and I think the first tier only has 3. Maybe we only need the tier 2, but we're just going to go up and go all the way to the tier 3. So the tier 3 requires a tier 2 crafter, crafting tables, and redstone torch. It's not a big deal. The tier 2 is the same recipe, requires tier 1 though, and the tier 1 requires a machine frame, which is rather inexpensive in this mod pack. Okay. So let's go ahead and start crafting this up here. We'll do a tier 1. We need a machine frame first of all. There we go, machine frame. So tier 1, okay. Tier 2, perfect. Tier 3, good to go. Awesome. So the tier 3 has 7 recipes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's impossible to say. I think that's 7 because this doesn't scroll at all. The scroll bar does. I assume that's 7. It might be 8 or 9. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to have to set recipes in this thing. So let's grab some essence from our system here, and we'll start setting some recipes. So we want to click on this very first one. We want to tell this thing that we want it to be an internal craft. We don't want it to export the recipe. We want that to go into this section down here. So we will tell it that the recipe, oh, you know what? We are going to need the master crafting infusion crystal thingy. Yes. So we wanted to say that for these guys plus this guy will equal that one. We can say apply. Now, again, this is going to be an internal craft. Whoops. No, I guess that's set to external because that doesn't. Okay, so there we go. Now it's an internal craft. So when it crafts this, it'll try and just put it back into its own inventory, right? Okay, so we have that done. So now we need to get the other essence. Do we have any of these other ones? We have some prudentium stuffs here. Okay, cool. So let's click on this guy. We will say that'll be an internal recipe. Again, master infusion, and we will do this. Okay, so there we go. Apply. So now we have two different recipes. As long as we have this and we have power, it'll convert from this one, or I guess from this one into this one and this one into this one. Yeah? Okay. So again, let's take this stuff. We'll convert this into the blue and we'll get some orange here so we can continue making our recipes. Okay, so next step is we want to make one of those so we can convert from the orange, the intermedium, into the blue, the superium. So we'll apply that. And finally, we want to take the superium. We want to take this stuff and convert that into the red one. Again, this one will be external. This is what we wanted to export. So we take in the green, it makes the dark green, makes the orange, makes the blue, and exports the red after we get enough essence in the system. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Let's see, is there anything else that we need to do with this? I guess one of the more important things we should do is set up a spot for every single one of these. Let's also grab some cobblestone. I guess this thing what I'm doing right here doesn't really matter that much, but I'd rather have like a designated spot for everything in here, and then everything, all these free spaces, I want them blocked off. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So I'll do that, the blue, the orange, and the red, plus we need a spot for the infusion crystal. Now, another thing is when we export this recipe, I think it exports the infusion crystal. What is see? The result of this crafting operation will go to the output buffer, but remaining items like buckets will stay in input. So we want to click this guy again, double click that to get the recipe. We want to set this to XC. Yeah, I think we want this one. Yeah. Otherwise, the master infusion crystal will go to the export, and we'll have to like put that back in the system. Hopefully this will stay and do what I want it to do. But anyway, the other thing that I want to do is fill the rest of this up with cobblestone. Actually, I guess we don't need the red since this is always going to be an export, right? So we could do that and that. I think that's all we need to do. Okay, so anyway, we click, remember the current items in the internal and external buffers. I guess we can do that. So we'll click R. So that should set a pattern for everything. So only these items will go into the spot that they are designated. So the master infusion crystal will only go here. It won't go in any of these other spots. I guess it can go down here, but I don't think that really matters. But anyway, this is just going to prevent like this thing from overflowing and buffering and getting too many items. And maybe there's no spot for this master infusion crystal to go back in here so the thing breaks. So this is how we have that set up. Now I think, I'm not sure, I think it retains the data when you break it and put it back down, right? Yeah, it certainly does. So this block is really good for that. Okay, so now we need to get this thing hooked up so it will collect all of the essence and start automatically crafting that. So I think what we will do is I'm going to get rid of this drawer here. We'll probably get another storage bus. The storage bus will be set up to filter specifically for this essence, which will go right back into this crafter tier 3. Is that what we want to do, actually? If I am crafting something and we get extra of that essence and I put it back in the system, it's just going to go away and I'll have to uncraft it every time. Maybe. Okay, well, I'll make a storage bus. We'll try that out for a little while. If it doesn't work great, we'll figure out another way of doing this. But anyway, let me get to that and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I set the RF Tools crafter over here by where we're growing all the essence because we had a plate energistics and we had power, both of which we needed. So the way this is set up, we have a storage bus set directly on the RF Tools crafter here. We have a pattern set, or I guess the filter set for inferium, prudentium, intermedium, and superium. All of this stuff gets stored directly in this crafter, okay? So this is set to a priority of 100. So if we take any items into the system essence, if we put any of that stuff in there, like those 4, they just immediately go into the crafter and they get converted, right? So we got 16 supremium essence in there. As we click things in here, they get crafted all the way up. You can see right here, as it's gaining stuff, it's making the higher tier stuff. And as soon as we get 4 of the supremium, it'll make the supremium stuff, and that'll go into the system. On the back here, we have an import bus whose only job is just to import whatever goes into the exported section here. And yeah, I think that's going to be working pretty well. Now, the only thing is, I don't know if we craft something here and say we tell the system essence, we tell it to make like this intermedium, does that just go into the system? Is that available? Or does that get crafted and then go back in here? Yeah, that might be a problem, actually. Okay, so maybe what we want to do is just tell the system that only the inferium essence goes in here. Because otherwise, if we craft stuff like the intermedium, it just gets put by the storage bus back in here and then crafted again, which is not really what we want. Ideally, we'd only want the stuff that is being produced here to go into this crafter. But the way we have the piping set up is it can't really do that, unfortunately. Unless we make like a sub-network kind of a thing, which we might end up having to do. So like this interface is on its own network and it'll put the rest of the stuff into the main network. That might be something we look at here in the future. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that. Maybe for right now, maybe what we should do is change this to only allow inferium essence into the storage bus. If we do that, again, we're going to run into that same problem where we'll never be able to make inferium, because anytime that enters the system, it's just going to be put back in here and then converted again. But I guess we can do some manual crafting with the inferium if we ever need that stuff, which I don't know how much of that we're going to need going forward. But for right now, that's where we are on this. Now, I did take all of the essence out of this drawer here. I used our chest transporter, moved it over here. We no longer need the upgrades in here, and we can just go ahead and break this thing since it doesn't contain any items anymore. We can use these upgrades for something a little bit more important. I think we're fine just storing digitally all of the essence that we are crafting here. Where is my wireless crafting table? Essence. So yeah, we're up to 20 of the supremium essence. That's without the 2 that we got from that wither boss earlier. So I feel like we're going to be doing pretty good here. Maybe it would have been better to have a few more spots of this inferium essence. So like when I shift click stacks in there, like it can only hold 1 stack at a time. If it already has 1 item here from the crops that are growing, yeah, it'd probably be better to have like 3 or 4 slots available for that for the inferium essence. But anyway, this seems to be working pretty good. We don't have to worry about the drawer. We are always getting the supremium essence into the system, the red essence into the system. We should make, oh, actually, I think we do have crafts, right, to make all of these other different things from this. So if I wanted to make some of the blue, like 10 of those, we can do that. Essence. Yeah, now we got the supremium or superium essence. Man, I keep saying that wrong. They're so close together. It's superium and supremium. It's so weird. But anyway, yeah, we can put that back into the crafter here, and then it will turn them back into the red stuff. And yeah, we're all good again. Very good. All right, well, I'm running into a problem here. I'm trying to make interfaces. It's time to upgrade our auto crafting. Currently, we have this many interfaces here, but we can have up to 8 of these stacked on top of each other for a total of 32 interfaces. So I'm trying to make 24 of them, and it's saying that we're running out of Constantan. So if we do interface and we try and craft 24 of these things, it's like, well, you don't have any Constantan. It's weird. So let's go take a look at the pattern. I put that, where is it? Right here. So the pattern for our interface is set to or dictionary substitutions allow substitutions of input components, right? So Constantan is what we have here from Immersive Engineering, but we have Constantan from Thermal Foundation. What I'm trying to do is use this as a substitution, but it doesn't even recognize that we have any of that in the system. So this is all of our Immersive Engineering stuff, Constantan. We have some more Constantan ingots in here. We'll put up to 100 in there of this stuff. And if I tell it to make the interface, Oh, I can't do that because the pattern's not in the system yet. Actually, let me put it here. We'll just double check. And it says using substitutions, yes, on the tooltip there. So we'll put it back into where it goes. And then if we tell it to make interface 24, it is saying it's missing 20 constant. It doesn't know how to make more. It says that we have 100 of it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that it just doesn't recognize that, hey, we have a recipe here. Maybe, Constantin. I was thinking maybe this needs to be use substitutions as yes, but I don't think that is the case. Maybe it'd just be better overall just to switch everything over to the Mystical Agriculture version. What I wanted to do, though, was to convert what we have left of the immersive engineering into the thermal foundation, because that's the stuff that we're going to be making all the time going forward, right? Let me put some of that in here and that in there and the star. Okay. So previously with storage drawers, you could put in the stack whatever you wanted to. So let's grab this Constantin. If we put that in here and then we threw something else in there that was dictionary compatible, we could just double click it and it would convert to whatever item's in there, but you can't do that anymore. You need to use the special upgrade from storage drawers. You have to upgrade the drawer to make it have that ability. So let's do that. A conversion upgrade. If we threw that in here and then we we click that in there, it converts all of our Constantin into the thermal foundation version. Okay. So now that we have all of that in the system, it's probably going to be a good idea, like I was just saying a minute ago, to just convert this directly over instead of using the immersive engineering, just to say, hey, this is the recipe now using this version of it. So I'm curious if that's going to recognize that it can craft more or if there's still a problem. Let's take out a few more of those. And now if I tell it to make the interface 24, does this work? It says that it can craft it. So yeah, I guess setting the pattern with one version, but even though there's dictionary compatibility in this mod pack and it's set to use substitutions, it still didn't know how to create more of this stuff. That's very weird. Okay, so now that we got that solved, there is a few more things that we need to do here to get this to work. Obviously, we need Fluix dust, and then we're gonna need crushed quartz. Both of these things, I do believe we can craft over here, and I think it's about time that we get these machines hooked up to be automated. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 machines over here, which should be fine. Okay, so the pulverizer is going to be one of our first things that we need to get automated here. I think we'll be pulling the wire up from the side, and we'll have to use like covers or something in order to hide the wiring. But yeah, we have this main line that runs right here, which is very nice. But we're using this one all the way down here. We're already using, was it 4 channels, and we got 7 machines. So another time where we should swap this whole thing over. Where am I? Swap this whole thing over to just be a P2P. Yeah, so I'll hook up another one of these guys right here. We'll bring 32 channels off that one line, provide it over to our machines here, and then we should be pretty happy. Now, do I have any of that on AutoCraft, or am I going to have to do some stuff here? Let's see, P2P. We just have the memory card. Yeah, we need to get patterns going. There's, oh my goodness, there's so many stuff. Oh, you know what? I didn't mention this before either. I did add in all of these other essences. I made some more seeds off camera here. So we have signalum, bronze, emerald, diamond, steel, platinum, invar, and iron. All of these combined with everything else. I also hooked up cotton, so we had unlimited string going forward. And then everything else we've had, I think this is all stuff that we did in the last episode here. So we're running out of auto crafting space because I made patterns so we could craft all of those different items into what this should be. Again, this could be another thing where we hook up another RF Tools crafter whose job is specifically to turn essence into the resulting material. We could do it that way, or we could just save the essence like we're doing right now. I just feel like it's probably easier to save the essence and just craft this stuff on demand, since this is a very fast thing to do. But yeah, we are running out of auto crafting space, so I want to make more auto crafters, and that's why we are in the position we are right now. So we need to make patterns so we can make ourselves P2P tunnels, because I feel like we're going to be needing a lot of these going forward. So let's do that. So there is a recipe for the P2P tunnels. And then we are going to want dense cable, which I don't think We have an auto craft here. We have one more. We have the ME glass cable on auto craft. So let's figure out how to make an ME dense cable. Okay, so to make the ME dense smart cable, this is the one that shows the lines. Apparently there is a covered cable that does not. We like the lines so we can tell how many channels are being used. So in order to make that, we need the covered cable with redstone glowstone, which requires us to have 4 ME covered cables to make the big one. And to do that, we need the glass cable plus a wool. Apparently we have no wool in the system. So how do we make wool in this mod pack? Because I don't remember. It's just the default vanilla recipe. Perfect. Okay. So I think the system already knows how to make string out of cotton, right? It does. Perfect. So we know how to make string out of cotton. We know how to make wool out of string. So now we will craft one of those. Now we're going to have to learn how to make the covered cables, which is a pretty easy thing here. This guy, allow substitutions, should be fine. So we have the P2P wool. We have the covered cable. So we'll make one of those. I guess we need an ME glass cable in the system for me to do that. There it is. Okay, so we'll make a pattern here for this guy. And in order for us to do anything further, we have to have one of those covered cables, or at least a recipe in the system to make this. So for right now, I'm just going to kind of throw these in here. I'll move these so they're on their own separate interface later, I think. So covered cable, let's make one of these. Okay. Very good. So we have that. So now we just need to set the pattern for that plus, actually, I think we can do it here if we do the plus thing. Yeah. Okay, so there is the smart cable. Very good. So now we can just kind of throw this in here. So now we can autocraft P2Ps. We're going to need 2 of those. And dense smart cable, we are going to need at least 1 more. Perfect. Okay, so now we have that. So the ME glass cable, we're going to need our memory card, which we have on us already. I don't need coal on me. I think that should be about it. I guess we're going to want some interfaces so we can set up the auto crafting on those. Let's just make like 4 of them because I know we can make that many. Interface. Those should be about done. It shouldn't take that long. Yeah, we're done. Okay. Interface. Cool. So now, again, we'll just hook these things up like we had before. We'll just put the interface on the top. This machine will have to be set going forward to auto. Oh, no, we want auto input disabled, auto output enabled, and we'll set the top to be in out, so blue and orange. So it'll input from the top and it'll export to the top, right? So anything it exports goes right back into the interface, which goes back into our system. All right, so other than that, we just have to set up the whole P2P system again. So we need cable anchors in order to separate our cables, and I think that's about all we're gonna need here to get this going. So we will place a cable anchor next to this guy. We'll do the dense cable here. We'll put a P2P on that guy. Oh, did I not get those out of the system? P2P. All right, so that goes right like that. And we can use one of these cables here to connect that P2P to our network, right? And I guess while we're here, I will get that on the memory card. So shift right click to copy to the memory card. We bring it over here, and I don't know where the dense cable is going to go. I guess we can just put it like right here. This should be fine. So, oops, not there. Close, but not there. Okay, so we'll put the dense cable right there. We'll put the P2P on that. We'll hook that up to our main line. That is not, oh my goodness, that is not the cable I thought it was. I thought I was on this one. Okay, so I'll hook that up to the main line. Oh, and I broke the P2P. Oh my goodness, we're just failing at everything here, guys. Okay, so P2P. Cable. Okay, I think we got that situated now. And then we can right-click to load the configuration. So it knows that all the channels from this one that we copied go to this one right here. So now all we gotta do is just run a regular cable up into that interface, and we should be pretty much good to go. Right, so that interface is now a part of our network. The only thing we need to do is tell it, hey, if we input some item, we should expect the pulverized version of that item back out. Okay, so now, if we do interface one more time, And we're going to try and make 24 of these. What was it complaining that we were missing? Fluix dust. Okay, so Fluix, we need to tell it that on a processing pattern, 1 Fluix crystal. Why am I not able to right click? Is this mouse tweaks again? Controls? No, sorry. We need to go to mod options, mouse tweaks, config. Yep, we want this off, with item off, wheel tweak off. Done, done. Back to game. Okay, so now we can grab our Fluix one more time and then right click and it puts in this pattern terminal instead of, with the mouse tweaks on, you can only left click and that does a full stack. That's not what you want. So you want it so you can right click, place this thing here. We'll do the Fluix dust, okay? And then we can put that right into our pulverizer. Pulverizer, like so. So now we should be able to do that. Now the other thing was that I want to crush quartz. So I believe that is just nether quartz. Same kind of a deal. Turns into this in the pulverizer as well. Okay, we'll put that here. So now, interface, if we do 24 of these, we should be good to go. So let's start it up and make sure everything's happy. Is our pulverizer working? Looks like it is. Yep, it is definitely crushing our nether quartz into the quartz dust. And then we should also do the Fluix. There it is. Very good. So yes, everything is working as it should. We're getting all the different items. Auto crafting is happening. Let's wait for this all to happen. I'll start hooking up the rest of the stuff that we need downstairs to expand our auto crafting area. And then we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so we got the interfaces made. We made the molecular assemblers. Getting that auto crafting with the pulverizer up there was so much time saving. Like, I don't have to sit there and camp it and manually worry about, do I have enough dusts? We can just do it now, which is great. Another thing we're going to have to hook up is our crystal growth chamber and get this thing automated at some point. I did make recipes for all the seeds, so that'll be a pretty easy thing later on. But we'll worry about that a little bit later. So we need to get the channels from here over to here, but currently, we have 8 interfaces, which maxes out this cable. So in order for us to go any further, we are in fact going to need to get ourselves a P2P over here. Now, we are in the process of crafting something I completely forgot. Is that done yet? It sounds like it's done. Okay, so we should be good now. So I'm going to use this existing line, which should be that cable right there. And we'll just place a P2P right on this guy like we were doing before. And then what's going to be different about this is we're just going to run dense cable all the way up. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a maximum length that we'll be able to put this 3x3 alternating molecular assembler with interface all the way up. So it'll be a total of 32 channels when we get all the way up there. Now this guy right here, we are going to have to replace as well. And I'm going to break a block right like so I can place... actually, this needs to be broken also. I'm going to place the dense cable right here. Then we'll place a P2P on there, I suppose. We're doing this a little bit differently. Normally, I put them all in a row like this, but since we already had the cable here, we might as well just use this spot. Okay, so we're using that right here, and then we will place that guy right like so. Actually, no, I am doing this incorrectly, aren't I? We will do it the way I normally do, so that'll just connect right like this. We will just add another guy up here. I don't know why I thought that that was going to be a good idea to bring the channels over there, but that's not really a great idea the way I was trying to do that because that wouldn't work. Yeah, anyway, so we'll just do it like this, like we normally do. We'll hook this guy up like so, and then now that is attached to the network. We need our memory card to grab these channels, right? So that goes into the network through that cable. It comes out of the network through this cable and runs all the way along that same cable over to here. So we just need to click on the P2P tunnel down there. Loaded device configuration for memory card. So now these 8 channels are running on that P2P over here. So when this thing all connects in just a moment, we should see 8 channels of 32. Maybe, if things work correctly. Hopefully they do. Yeah, okay, 8 of 32. We're perfect. Everything's good. So now it's just going to be an alternating, repeating pattern of putting the molecular assemblers on the interfaces and putting interfaces on the molecular assemblers. Like so. I did make 120 more acceleration cards so we can fully accelerate all of this auto crafting and make it as fast as we can go with it. like so, and these guys over here. Yeah, every time we add another row, it adds 4 more channels to this thing. That's why we need the dense cable here, because by the time it gets to the end, it'll be trying to push out 32 channels at the bottom, and it just won't work with a regular cabling system. Okay, and then these guys like so. And finally, the last row here with the molecular assemblers. Beautiful. Okay, so now that's all done. If we come over here and take a look, we should see that there are a few more channels being used, maybe 32 of 32 channels. So everything is now hooked up. So the final step of this is to get these acceleration cards in here. I think the first 2 rows are fine. So we'll just start doing this per side. I should have enough, I think, if I correctly calculated how many we need to fill all of these things up. So yeah, I'm shift right clicking on these things, which fills up the slots with the card that you're shift right clicking on if there is space available. So it's just a faster way of filling these things all up. And then finally, it should just be... did I make a few too many? I have 1 extra. Okay, well, we got 1 left over. We'll just assume that we have acceleration cards on all of these. I'll go through and double check and make sure I didn't like put only 4 in one of them or something. But yeah, so now our auto crafting tower is complete. We have a lot more space now for more patterns. So if we come over here and take a look, we should be able to see, ooh, we got all the room in the world for all of the different auto crafting patterns now. And if we need more, we can always, always, always just make another one of these towers or another 4 of them and put them right here in this little platform if we wanted to. But yeah, we can always add more of these in, which is going to be great. Might be worth expanding out our crafting units now that we got more space for more patterns, for more auto crafting, so we can make these things bigger. Another thing that we can keep in mind for the future, the final thing that I wanted to do was just make sure we get this completely buttoned up here. So we just need to place that guy right like so. And you can't even tell that we did anything here. Yeah, it's really good. I know it's just plain stone or whatever, but it's better than having holes in the wall and cobblestone in place and whatever. Like this chest I want to get rid of and just kind of make that all nice like it was previously. Oh, you know, I think there was one more thing, right? We have a hole down here, so let's fill this thing back in. So solid block there, and then we'll break this cable and undo my mistake that we did earlier. Place that back right like so, just to fill in the hole, make it look a little nicer. It's unfortunate that the connected texture doesn't work, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.